Welcome to all my dears. We had completed the first part of LFT regarding the serum bilirubin, direct bilirubin, indirect bilirubin, then serum proteins, albumin globulin and albumin globulin ratio. Now we are going to discuss about the evaluation of clinical significance of SGOT and SGPT. All of you are well aware with the values of SGOT and SGPT. These are nothing but the serum glutamic oxaloacetate transferase or otherwise serum glutamic pyruvic transferase. Formerly, these enzymes were known as AST or ALT. These two main enzymes which are present in the hepatocytes and in a healthy being or a healthy human, the normal value of SGOT and SGPT ranging from 5 to 40 international unit per liter. Due to various reasons or due to acute or chronic injury or inflammation of the hepatocytes that causes death of the cells and thereby leakage of these enzymes in blood. As you know, there are more than 150 varieties of liver disorders. Even though now let us try to know about the most common cause of abnormal SGOT and SGPT. Mostly these enzymes may get elevated, especially in acute hepatitis or autoimmune hepatitis. Hepatitis with a B and C viral infection and the hepatotoxicity by pharmacological products like rifampicin, isoniazid, INH or anti-tuberculous drugs or abuse of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, then acetaminophen or otherwise it is commonly known as paracetamol toxicity, etc. may produce damage of the liver or damage of the hepatocytes and thereby elevated SGOT and SGPT can be seen. One of the main reason of elevation of SGOT and SGPT can be seen in acute alcohol toxicity or after having a heavy drink of alcohol or persistent or continuous abuse of ethanol or alcohol that will surely leads to either moderately or marked elevation of the SGOT and SGPT can be seen. Next is about the diseases of liver. Mainly in condition with patients with fatty liver or with fibrosis or scarring or even in cirrhosis, the SGOT and SGPT levels can be abnormal. The tumors of the liver or any growth in the liver that can also leads to elevated level of SGOT and SGPT. Due to some hemodynamic effects, that means in patients with congestive cardiac failure and some metabolic disorders like metabolic storage disorders like iron or copper storage disorders or certain enzymatic deficiency, especially alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, then after having heavy muscle injury, in such condition you can see there may be abnormal or elevated level of SGOT and SGPT. In some of our patients, the elevation of SGOT or SGPT may be in a mild level, that is mild elevation of SGOT or SGPT. The elevation may be 1 to 3 times elevation. That means the reading of the SGOT or SGPT may be either 60 to 80 or 80 to 120 or less than 200 or something like that. That is a mild elevation of SGPT can be seen. It is commonly or usually seen in sepsis with sepsis induced conditions of neonatal jaundice. In neonatal jaundice, if it is due to any septicemia, there may be mild elevation of the SGPT can be SGOT can be seen. And in conditions like extrahepatic biliary atresia, that means the biliary tract may be getting atrophied in such condition, and in conditions of grade 1 or grade 2 fatty liver disorder, or even in patient with cirrhosis, then conditions like non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, that is NASH, then as we mentioned earlier, the drug toxicity, then myositis, and even after having vigorous exercise or strenuous exercise, the SGOT or SGPT can be mildly elevated. So mild elevation of SGOT or SGPT can be seen in case of sepsis-induced neonatal jaundice, then extrahepatic biliary atresia, then disorders like fatty liver disease or conditions of non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, then cirrhosis, then drug toxicity, then myositis, and even after having vigorous exercise. These are the common conditions which may lead to mild elevation of SGOT and SGPT. Next, we have to observe the patients with a moderate elevation of SGOT and SGPT. That means the moderate elevation, I mean 3 to 20 times more. That means the range may be above 200 or above 400 or 600, something like that. The common moderate elevation of the SGOT and SGPT can be seen in either acute or chronic hepatitis, or in case of autoimmune hepatitis, or toxic or alcoholic hepatitis. In such condition, you can see a moderate elevation of SGOT or SGPT. Like that, conditions of neonatal jaundice, in then patients with acute biliary tract obstructions, that may be due to either cholecystitis or cholelithiasis or choledochal cyst. In such condition, you can see there is a moderate elevation of SGOT or SGPT. Some of our patients may show an elevated SGOT or SGPT even more than 1000 unit per liter. The normal SGOT SGPT value is ranging from 5 to 40. So instead of 5 to 40, the SGOT or SGPT level may be more than 1000. That is severe elevation. The severe elevation of SGOT and SGPT is commonly seen in severe viral hepatitis, or a drug or toxic induced hepatonephrosis and circulatory shocks. So anything which affects the circulatory shock or severe infections or drug or toxin induced hepatic necrosis, the elevation may be more than 1000. So that's why we can categorize the elevation of SGOT and SGPT either into mild, moderate and severe elevations. At the same time, keep in mind, even in patient with either acute or chronic liver disorder, the SGOT or SGPT or even serum bilirubin or serum proteins seems to be abnormal or subnormal. So it is not necessary to be abnormal. So that is why in patient with such asymptomatic cases, we have to clinically correlate along with the hematological findings and with some other investigative protocols also. Welcome to all. We had studied about the abnormal findings with serum bilirubin, serum proteins, serum glutamic oxaloacetate transaminase, and serum glutamic pyruvic transaminase. All these liver parameters are mainly used to evaluate the functional capacity or inability of or inefficiency of liver disorders mainly.